Okay. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's wrap up the harmonic stuff. I think it's really important. Talking, you guys don't have to do any of it. You guys do the listening, and hopefully you guys absorb the material while I go through it. Uh-oh. So I got to go to the 4-hour first. So that means this is the 4-hour harmonic. Okay, so that's my wingtip. So I'm looking for a pattern down here, right? So the first thing I would go to the 1-hour chart after the harmonic fires. So here's my harmonic. This is my little black box, a light black box telling you the harmonic is going to fire from here. And then I'm looking for a pattern on the 1-hour chart. Remember, 4-hour harmonic, 1-hour pattern. Okay, first leg does not close above the 13. So you could have been like, okay, out of the band, in the band, I can go long here, but price never closed above the 13 until here. Okay, notice the out of the band, in the band, baseline bounce. This is the baseline bounce, market baseline pointing upwards. Price closed above the 13, RSI is above the signal line, above the market baseline, long. Boom, easy. Okay. All right, the question is there another set? Yeah, on the 15-minute chart. Okay, this is one leg late, and this is in session. So that's why I was saying, normally, if this is my anchor formation, I should have one leg out of the band or a shark fin or something like that. Okay, but this one doesn't, so that's not a good setup. Here's my blue tracer. That's the only way I would take this trade. Notice the band out of the inducement outside is 1, 2. That's inside, right? Inside this 1, 2, 3 to the low. Close above the 13, back below, back above. Boom, long. That's a, got a one leg out of the band, one leg in the band. Gorgeous. All right. That, my friend, is the 12 setup. That's what I like to take in the peak. Did I take this trade? The answer is no. Why? Because I was sleeping. Happens. Okay. Now, if I was in Spain, I would have killed them. I would have been awake. In the U.S., I only trade London predominantly. I go to bed around like 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Eastern. Okay. 4-hour harmonic. I'm looking for a 1-hour pattern. Okay. So here's my harmonic. Okay. Now you could have been like, well, this box is over here, so if you notice the black box, it fired over here, not over here. So this is a non-event. Besides, if it fired over here, I should have been, okay, close above 13, back below, back above, but the distance with the railroad tracks to the bottom is more than 10 pips. Okay, that means you got to take out the apex, which it never did, so there would be no entry here. Right? That's what those rules are set up so you do not make a mistake. And if you do make a mistake, price close below 13, you got to get out. Don't presume you know where market is going to go. You do not know. That's why these rules are set up. They're called fail-safe rules. Prevents you from failing and keeping you safe. Okay. Then of course it gives you a second leg. You got a one leg out of the band, one leg in the band. By the time this rolls over, RSI is above the signal line, above the market baseline, long. Yes, it did not pull back. That's why the foot soldier and the scripts are really good, because you enter here, 1/3 pullback is a full position. It never does come back. At least you're in this trade going long. Okay, 4-hour pattern. I'm sorry, 4-hour harmonic. Now, question is there a setup on the 15 minutes? The answer is yeah. Notice the quarter points. They hit it, pulled away, they come back, and they threw a W, close above 13, right? Close above 13, back below, back above. It's the classic W formation. One leg out of the band, one leg in the band. RSI above the signal line, above the market baseline, long. Absolutely stunning. As a matter of fact, this was today. See? June 15th, June 15th. This is not a 12 setup. A 12 setup, the first leg has to be the previous day. This is all one day setup. Okay? It's nice. I guess it's called a quasi 12, right? Because the blue tracer is right here. All right? EN, same thing. For our harmonic 1 hour pattern, okay, so if you notice, right, here's my one leg out of the band, close above the catch-up. There's a little tiny little, you can see a little black dot down here below the red line, right? Out of the band, in the band. You can't, it doesn't mean anything until RSI is above the signal line, above the market baseline, which is, and price above the 13, which there is. Now, you could have taken that trade there. All right, this cannot be a 50-50 bounce. Why? Because 1350 cross, first pullback, 1350 had not crossed, so that's not a 50-50 bounce. Okay, and because this is an advanced W, you can trade this back thinking that's going to come back and give you a second leg. So this short is the valid move. If you take a scratch on this and if you don't hit your target, you can come back and short it again to the downside. Okay, kind of cool. Now, obviously this one doesn't qualify. You need to be priced because it's considered an M. RSI line has to be below the market baseline, so there's no entry here. Okay. All right. So 1 hour did not, unless you said, hey, that's an advanced W, I'm going to take it. Otherwise, that's the pass. All right. So let's see the 15-minute chart. Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, so here, so you can see this black box. The black box over here. You can see this thing running through here, right? Boom. Closed above the 13, back below, back above. Second leg railroad track, right? Closed above the 13. It looks like some news of some sort, right? Closes above it. Here's my Fibonacci. Here's my 1/3 pullback. Notice it's 33 pips to this high. From here to here. Okay. Now, if you took that as a W, market baseline screaming up, they come back and they give it to you the third leg. So it's almost 3 hits to the low. 1, 2, 3. Almost you say shoulder head. Shoulder, not really, it's 3 hits to the low. Okay? So if you did not hit target here, wait for this move. The third move, nice, long. I don't like this candle. For me, that would have been a pass. All right? But it's nice. Market baseline screaming up. RSI is above the signal line, above the market baseline. Now you got you got some sort of distance between here and here. You can take that trade. Okay. All right. Here's another harmonic pattern. Here's the 1 hour. Here's my pattern. There's only shark fin. There is no out of the band in the band, and there's no blood in the water, right? Shark fin, no blood in the water, and there's no shark fin hold the male. This is just a shark fin. What does that mean? It means nothing. Unless there's a pattern, it means nothing. Okay, so some of you guys be like, well, over here, no, there's nothing there. This one has to come back close below and come back above, which it didn't do. So that's nothing. That's not a half a bat. Now, the half a bat comes here. It closed below the 13. That's the first time it closed below the 13. So this becomes my apex. So if you're considering this as a giant half a bat, you got to wait for price to take out the apex, which it did right here. 1/3 pullback long, 50-something pips. Okay. Then they come back, they hit it, and then 1350 cross again. The harmonic gives you an idea of where to look for setups, where your anchor is potentially on the 1 hour chart. So if I'm looking for long, let's see if I took this trade here. Okay, 1350 cross, first pullback, 50-50 bounce. I took this trade here. Notice it closed below the 13 over here, right? The little red line is slightly above that red candle close. You're going to kill the trade. That's just the way it is. They go back away, and then they give you the 50-50 bounce. All right? So the harmonic tells you where your anchor formation, your reversal pattern. All right. We got 2 more to go. Here's another harmonic. Okay, I know it's level 2, I'm counter the whole 9, right? So on the 1 hour chart, I'm looking for a pattern. So here's my little lighter box where the harmonic pattern is, and here's my pattern. So I wait for the hit, boom, above the 13, below the 13, back above the 13. Okay, now you're being like, well, yeah, you could have been half a bat, you could have taken that long here. You could have, but you got to measure the candle. Okay, first of all. Second of all, remember, this is just a half a bat off the low, is not half a bat off the male or shark fin hold the male. This is just a half a bat. Just an anchor formation like this, I don't like taking these trades. If it's a half a bat off the male, it's a different story. Why? Because the EMAs act as the barrier. Here, there is no barrier. It's the middle of nowhere. Now, the next day, you see a blue tracer, but when it rolled over here, you have no idea why it's rolling over there. If it's a quarter point or EMA or something, it's a different story. But if you look to the left, there's nothing there. Okay? So, very risky just taking a pattern without a multi-day structure. Multi-day structure. Don't take the half a bat when you're seeing these anchor formations. Simply wait for the W formation. If it moves, let it go. Okay, that's not a good set. All right? That makes it nicer. Nice W formation. One leg out of the band. I love these, by the way. One leg out of the band, one leg in the band. Especially with the side bounce. All right, long, followed by what? 1350 cross, 50-50 bounce long. Okay, so the question is, can you take multiple trades on the same harmonic? The answer is absolutely. Okay, I would take a 1 hour trade here, and I would take a trade 1 hour here, trade here. But I'm also going to take the 15-minute setup if it happens. So first, if the 15-minute happens here, I'm going to take it here first. So here's my harmonic, right? You can see the little light black box here. Boom, close above 13, back below. It did not close above 13 here until here. So one leg here, that's the W. That's my entry long. Okay, let's presume I trade 24 hours a day, right? So I'm here, I'm going to take that trade, boom, like that. That's my move. Okay, it comes back, they hit it again, come all the way now. Now I'm watching that 1 hour chart. I see the W formation. I'm going to take that 1 hour W. And then on the 15 minute, because it's a 15-minute entry and a 15-minute pattern, I'm going to manage the trade. And I'm going to take the trade off the 15. So I'll take the 15-minute and the 1 hour. If it's different entries, if the entry is the same, then of course the same entry. Okay? Half a bat, long. Why can I take this? Because if this is a W and this is a half a bat, this is a 21 setup. 2 legs here and 1 leg here. And if you notice, the blue trace is involved. Followed by an ID move, 1350 cross, first pullback, 50-50 bounce, ARID combo, long. Okay? Okay, last one. All right? Obviously a harmonic, 1 hour. Okay, so the harmonic is right here. The little black box is here. The bigger black box is the one I drew. Okay, so if you notice, close above the 13, back below, back above. 1 leg out of the band, 1 leg in the band. By the time I take the trade on this pullback, 1/3 pullback, RS line is above the single line, above the market baseline, nice angle of separation, I'm going to go. 4 hour harmonic, 1 hour pattern. Happens to be also peak, low, perfect. They did hit the stop in the quarter point. 1350 cross, followed by 50-50 bounce. This happened in June 1st. 2 weeks ago. Okay? And on the 15-minute chart, I'm traded. So here's my little black box, the lighter black box, and here's my pattern. So once it comes in, once the harmonic fires, I'm looking for a pattern, ideally inside the little black box, and then I draw that, take a black box to stop hunt to the Asian low. Okay, it's like 1, 2, 3, like a 3 drives, right? Lower, 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 and they're pushing up. But here's the half a bat. Trap up the high EMA, go back up. Okay, takes out the apex, long. If you don't like that, you wait for the first pullback. Did not give you an ID move. 50-200 cross, closes the extremal structure, safety, visible stop hunt. Boom, 1 leg, second leg. Okay. News, wait for the news. Boom, comes up, Candle closes, that means 15 minutes after the news, you take the trade. Safety, W of the male. All right. So these anchors are phenomenal. You can trade them. IDs will come after that. And if it closes at the extreme of structure, safety comes after that. All right. Take the safe, you can take the half a bat, but you can also take the 1 hour W. Remember, 4-hour harmonic, 1 hour pattern, only if you see the 1 hour pattern. Okay. And then if you miss it, it comes up with the ID or the 1 hour 50-50 bounce, as well as the safety. All right.